My internship was with Tuller Counseling Services, or the Tuller Counseling Center. The reason I found this internship, I actually did a lot of research beforehand. I had looked on the BYUI site for internships specifically for our major, for the marriage and family major. And I think I applied for about 6 or 7 internships, and then I decided to stay locally here. They contacted me, and so the reason I found them actually, or that I was recommended to them, was by someone else who had heard of them. So I had called them and told them that I was looking for an opportunity, and they called me in for an interview, and I was able to go in the next day. They saw who I was, made sure that I was a good candidate for their internship, and they decided to keep me, and so I started the paperwork, and it was golden after that. The location of the interview was actually kind of hard for me at first. There is an office here in Rexburg, and there is one in Rigby. They actually had me as an intern located in Rigby because there are more meetings and opportunities and CBRS workers to work with. But I had my interview here in Rexburg. I put a couple photos on here to kind of explain how to get there inside the building, because there are multiple businesses. But it's over by where Cow Ranch used to be, and you turn on that street, and when you get in the building, it's a really big building. Once you go in, you go up the stairs, and you go on to the right, and it's the first office there on your right. Some of my internship responsibilities, they were whatever I really decided to do, and my director or supervisor, she talked to me about what I wanted to participate in, but that I would have a well-rounded internship if I knew what the paperwork side was of the business, and also the meetings that they held, and also time out with CBRS workers, because technically with a bachelor's degree you can't shadow or go into any one-on-one meetings with counselors. So you'd be meeting with CBRS workers. So what I did for this internship is I looked after the office sometimes when they were short-staffed. I would go to their court staffings every Wednesday. They go and they do what's called jump court and impact court. And you get to see a lot of kids that are in the counseling center and to see what happens to them. And the staffings beforehand will show you, or they're there to help you understand and to decide what their consequences will be in court later that day. I also audited files, so I knew how the business ran and how they file everything for insurance purposes and things like that, and how they format it. I went on CBRS appointments that you have to meet up with CBRS workers in miscellaneous places, sometimes outside of the offices, so you have to take the initiative and actually text them or call them and set up your own schedule, and then have office hours that you will be depended on to be in the office, where they can give you some assignments. And on top of that, some seasons, depending on when you're there, they will ask you to organize some events. This semester we did one where we just had the CBRS workers bring some of their clients, and we were able to play volleyball or soccer. We did a water balloon toss and things like that. So the the internship requirements can change a little bit as you are working there. I feel I benefited personally from this internship because They really did train me. They actually had me CPI certified, and so I have that for a year. They had me attending court, so I understand how court happened and behind the scenes, how they decide on the repercussions of actions that week for people. Or I had a lot of real experiences with clients, going into their homes and being able to talk to them. I was able at some points to be able to give my input. And I also understood a lot better how a counseling center runs. And for me, I feel like I have benefited them as well, because I was able to be an extra hand and to help with events and with paperwork. It is really complicated, so you kind of help and find the mistakes that they may make, and they are grateful for that. And for an extra set of ears in case someone said something, you're able to verify that again later, and you can give opinions. And so it is a really good opportunity. There's a lot of benefits for you, a lot of benefits for the counseling center, and they are really appreciative to have extra people there. Really quickly, I underestimated how much we actually used the information that we're taught in our courses. It's really important, actually. Almost all of the classes that I took regarding our major, I actually had to take something from those classes, and I was able to use them in this internship. A really big one was the developmental stages and knowing what's appropriate for different ages. And sometimes you have to work with just children or teenagers or adults, and then sometimes you have to deal with the parents of the children, and things like that. And it's hard to be professional sometimes because they are not perfect people, and the reason that they're getting counseling is because they're not perfect. And so it teaches you a lot of patience, but it is important that you pay attention in the classes, because it's a lot easier to understand where they're coming from if you understand what they're diagnosed with, or family dynamics, or different things that are taught in the courses. I would recommend this internship to someone who is looking for something locally and is looking for a well-rounded internship. The people there are really nice. They're really willing to work with you. CBRS workers are really willing to have you shadow them or come along if you would like to do that. I know I did that a few times when I didn't want to be in the office anymore. They were pretty easygoing and let me go shadow someone. And I think if you want to contact someone to try and get the internship, the director for the Rexburg and Rigby sites is Laura Linsenman, and I put her email and both main office numbers on this PowerPoint slide. So if you would like to talk to her and figure out the internship, she's the woman that you would be talking to.